Hello everyone, this is Adit back again with another video. So in this video, we are going to learn about animations in React Native. And to implement the animations in React Native, we are going to use a package called React Native Reanimations. And what this package helps us in is to handle the animation in React Native in a very beautiful way. And it the benefit, the best benefit that it provides is it helps to run animations on UI thread, which is really good at performance. So we will learn more about this in React Native reanimation as we go through the documentations and stuff, and uh, and we will also into some examples. We will try to come work on that. So basically in this video we are just going to start and we do the setup, and we will also look into some of the core features of the React Native reanimation version 2. It is important, when you are installing it, it should be version 2, because earlier it has the version 1 as well, and from version 1 to version 2 there are many changes. So we are going to work on version 2. So first of all, I have created an expo project, React Native Expo. I hope you are already aware of that. And in case if you're not, you can just go to React Native Expo, and here it is. And from here, all the sorry, not this one. Installation. Yeah, over here. So from here, you can just install the Expo in your machine, and this is how you can install it. And once you do that, you can just initialize a project. So I have already initialized my project over here, and in this project, we are first of all we are just going to add the React Native Reanimations package. So to do that, we are just going to follow the instruction that is provided in the documentation. So over here, we just have the installation, and inside the installation, you are able to see we are going to have yarn add React Native reanimated. So let's just copy this and run this. Let me just check I'm in the right directory or not. So yeah, I'm in a correct directory. So all I need to do is just run this command, and this will install the React Native reanimation. And once that is done, we need to do some additional setup so that we can work with Worklets, which is one of the feature of React Native reanimation. And now what we need to do is let me just remove this terminal from here. And now what we need to do is, like, inside the Babel config.js, we just need to put this one inside the plugin. Okay, so need to copy this plugin as well. So just copy till here and paste it over here. And yeah, this looks good. Now we will go to our app.js, and I think that's all we need. So now what we are going to do is I'm just going to run this application on the iOS simulator. We just clear my terminal, and once we do that, we're just going to do expo start. And this is going to take some time, so have some patience for this one. And once we do that, I need to press I to run it on iOS simulator. So let's just do that. And once we do that, it will open the iOS simulator. For Android or Windows user, it works a bit different. Like, you need to use the AF to open the Android emulator and stuff, and then that way it will work over there. So let's just adjust this on my screen. Good. Okay, so now our application is running, and this shows the open an app, like the text we have put over here. Okay, so now what we need to do is like first of all, we are going to create a view, and this view is just a rectangular box. So let me just do this, and let's just have style, and inside the style we're just going to have styles dot box. Okay, and over here let's just have box. Then what we're going to have is size, width, and height of this. So let's just define the size. For now, let's just have 100, and we're just going to pass the width, and width is going to be size and height as well, since we are going to have a square. So, and we can also define our background color, and that can be anything. Just have red as of now. Just save it, and over here you will have to see like we are having a square uh, box. So to aid the animation to our this box, what we need to do is let me just remove this text, as I don't think we are going to need this. So now let's just save it. So now what we are going to do is like we are going in React Native Reanimation. If you just go to the documentation, so first thing that we have over here is the worklets. So basically worklets helps you to run the methods on a UI thread, as you can see, like it is written in the documentation as well, events on the UI thread. And if you are not using worklet, then it like JavaScript runs or other methods as well, which works on JS thread, I think. So there are some differences between these things, but most of the time, like if you are defining a function and you want that function to be run on worklet, then all you need to do is like just pass the worklet. So basically we are rarely going to use this. The reason for that is like if you are using some hooks that React Native Reanimation already provides, then I don't think you need the worklet in the most of the cases. There might be some cases where you need to use the worklet, but I think for this tutorial we are good without we don't need to create any methods that requires a worklet string over here. Okay, so now uh, this is like I'm just giving the introduction of this like in the sequence that we have over here. And so basically the first thing that we are going to do is like we are going to initialize a shared value, and over here we have the shared value. So basically shared value, what it does is like it's a it you can think of it like it helps us to track the, I mean, you can see over here to provide the shared memory, and yeah, so over here shared value helps us to make it possible to maintain the reference to the mutable data that can be read, modified, and secure access those threads. So this is what the shared value is, and like you can think of it as a state, or some like, but it is a lot different from that. So we are going to use shared value over here. We're just going to have use shared value, and shared value is let's just have a transform. Let's have translate x. Okay, and we're just going to have use shared value, which is going to come from React Native Reanimation. Make sure of that. Uh, yeah. So over here, I've just imported use shared value from the React Native Reanimation. And initially I'm just passing the value as 0, and then what we need to do is like just go over here, and we are just going to have animation for this one, like let's make it animated view, and here this is giving us this error, and we are going to look into it, why this is giving this warning or error, whatever. So for now, let's just import this. Still, it is going to give us the error. We're going to look into it. And now let's just define our style. Const re our style. We can just over here, and just going to have use animated style, and inside the style and all these things use reanimated style and stuff, you are apt to find it over here. Like we define the use shared value, and initially we are putting the value 0, and then not this one, but over here we are going to have animation style, which is use animation style. Okay, so we are going to use a similar kind of example, and I'm just referring to the documentation as well, so that in case you are not able to understand it clearly, then you can just visit the documentation and get all the insights of what we are building, like how to implement this stuff in your own project, right? So now in our case we are having the use shared value, and then what we need to do is over here we're just going to return the value, and then so basically we are just going to define here what style we need to pass it to this view, so that it helps us to do the to do all the animations, right? So in our case what we are going to do is we are going to have translate x as of now, and what we are doing is we are going to add some value. So let's just for the translate x, let's just pass this translate x over here, or this one, and inside here we don't need to define anything. I don't know why I'm getting this one. Okay, so basically I need to pass the value. So make sure of that, like this translate x dot value, you need to pass the value, and it is mentioned in the documentation as well. So now what I need to do is, like, I need to pass this art style to this animated view, and to do that we are already having this styles. So I don't want to remove that style, I want to keep that one as well. So I'm just going to pass it inside an array, and we're just going to pass restyle. Okay, so as of now this is not going to do anything. To make this work, what we are going to do is, like, let's just have our use effect, and we need to somehow update this translate x value, so that it do the animations. Okay, so to do that I'm just going to put use effect, and as soon as so basically the as soon as component mounts, I want this, and now translate x dot value, I want to update the value, and let's just update the value to 5, and we just save it. So basically you might have been able to see, like, we just moved it a little bit. So now instead of doing this, we need to move it, let's just have it 50, and this moves, right? But instead of doing that, what we need to do is, like, to aid the animation, there are some functions that is provided by the React Native Reanimations, and that are like, let's just have with timing. Inside with timing, we are going to move the value to, let's just have 200, and we're just going to pass some durations as well. So have the 500, and if you just save it here, you will have to see, like, let's just reload the application again, and as soon as component mounts, this moves somewhere. Okay, so instead of doing that, we can do some other stuff with that. Let's just not use the translate x, but let's just use some other value. Let's just put progress, and then we can have just remove this one, and we can just have opacity progress dot value, and we're just going to update the opacity of this element. Just have it one, and over here progress dot value, and that is going to, we are going to update it the use timing 0.5, and we are just going to have, sorry, we need to pass this duration 5500. That sounds fair. And then we just pass the DA style over here, and this is again causing some, oh sorry, this opacity should be outside of this instead of don't need. And now if you just reload our application, you will have to see like once the application loads, and after that it just goes back to the duration to move to the opacity 0.5. So basically initially we are having the opacity as 1, and over here we move to opacity to 0.5. So one thing that is bothering me over here is like we are having this issue over here, that is animation view cannot be a JSX component. So you can solve this problem just by, so basically we can handle this error, the error that we are getting over here. This animated view cannot be a JSX component, and we can resolve it just by adding this line of code inside the package.json. So just go to package.json. Let's just put it over here, and this might resolve all the problem that we are facing over here. Not yet. Why? I think I need to restart my application. So expo install, and now if we just restart the application, and we're just going to run it on iOS simulator. Just to reload the application, and yeah, so our application is working over here. And now we are not able to see any warnings over here. You can just remove it by just adding this line resolution. I don't know what exactly this line does, but this works. So yeah. So now similarly we can add some other things over here as well. Like let's just have let's just rotate this square as well. So to do that, we can just have transform, and we can just have transform returns an array, and we're just going to have rotate, just going to progress dot value, and to rotate that we're just going to math dot by into 2, and we're just going to pass the radian. Okay, as well, let's just see what happens. So basically and now if we just reload our application, maybe we will have to see some changes. Okay, so now we are able to see the rotation over here as well. So let me just increase the duration, and now if we just try to look into it, you have to see the rotation over here. So there are other methods as well that you can use, like we can use like instead of with timing, we can have with repeat. And what with the just we don't need to remove the with timing. All we need to do is like we just wrap it with repeat. And instead of repeat, what we can do is like we just going to have this one, and to do the infinite repeat, all we need to do -1 and then true. And if we just run this, so let me reload the application, and this will keep on rotating, and the opacity will also keep on changing as we have provided it with repeat. And -1 stands for like over here we can also define how long we want to repeat it, like 2 times, 3 times, or but in case if we just pass the -1, then it will keep on repeating, like at -1 stands for like infinite or something. So this way you can define your animations, and this is how you can do it. And this is just the first video on this React animation series, and this is just the introduction of it, using shared values and how to put the animations, and do all the configuration on the React native. So this is it for this video, and if you like the video, consider subscribing, and thank you for watching. And more videos are going to come in the upcoming series. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned.